Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. So inshallah, today we will continue with lesson number 17 and one more part of or one more verb from the mazid fi forms. So in mazid fi we have already learned 3 forms. So we know the first one is the basic one, which is fa'ala yaf'alu fi'lun, and this is not from the mazid fi, this is from thulathi mujarrad. When we say thulathi mujarrad, that means the verb has only 3 root letters. For example, we can see here fa'ala. So the basic root letters are only 3. So that's why we call that thulathi mujarrad, yani only 3 root letters. Whereas when we talk about the mazid fi, that means there is an addition of tashdid, maybe there is an addition of alif, there is an addition of hamza. So that's called mazid fi, or the derived forms of the verb. So number 2, we have learned fa'ala yufa'ilu taf'ilan, which is here the masdar is taf'ilun, and the name of the bab is on the name of the masdar. So bab number 2, we said bab number 2 is taf'il, or form number 2 is taf'il, and then form number 3 is mufa'ala, which is on the pattern of fa'ala yufa'ilu mufa'alatan. And form number 4 is on the pattern of af'ala yuf'ilu if'alan, which is number 4. And inshallah, in the number 2, what is extra? Tashdid is extra. Number 3, what is extra? Alif.
Alif.
And number 4, what is extra? Hamza. All right. So do you remember the examples of number 2, 3, and 4?
Yes, fa'ala is sabbaha.
Sabbaha yusabbihu tasbihan. Okay.
Then fa'ala jahada yujahidu mujahadatan. Jihadan.
Okay. And jihadan. Okay. 2.
Aslama yuslimun islaman.
Islama. So we have af'ala yuf'ilu if'alan, and we have aslama yuslimu islaman. And the sentence which I gave you is doing tasbih and mujahada
are
from the basics of Islam. Sabbaha, jahada, aslama. Excellent. So now you have almost, hopefully you have completely learned the first 4 forms. Number 1 is the basic. So the mazid fi, we have learned 3 forms, which is fa'ala, fa'ala, and af'ala. Okay, so the first one has, the second one has tashdid, and then the third one has alif, and the fourth one has hamza. Now the 4th form of the mazid fi, which is number 5 overall. So we should say number 5 so that we don't confused. So number 5 has ta and tashdid extra. So we have 2 letters that are extra. Now you see here fa'ala, fa'ala, af'ala. We have 1 letter that is extra. For example, tashdid is extra, alif is extra, and hamza is extra. However, now it's becoming a little bit heavier and bigger. So the forms are getting bigger. So now the addition has been of 2 letters or 2 things, which is number 1 is ta, and then we have the addition of tashdid as well. So it is ta, tashdid. So tashdid, alif, hamza, ta, tashdid. So when we say that the addition is tashdid, alif, hamza, ta, tashdid. So it's basically tafa'ala, yatafa'alu, and the masdar will be tafa'ulan, or tafa'ulun is the name, and the masdar will be tafa'ulan. So tafa'ala, yatafa'alu, tafa'ulan. This is the 5th form of the verb, and number 4 form of the mazid fi. So what is extra here? Ta and tashdid are extra.
And tashdid.
Yes, all right. So let's move on and see the example here. So these are the examples that we are learning. The first one that we have learned is sabbaha yusabbihu tasbihan. Then we have learned jahada yujahidu mujahadatan. And then we have learned aslama yuslimu islaman. And in today's group, we are going to learn tadabbara yatadabbaru. Tadabbara yatadabbaru tadabburan. To ponder. Tadabbara yatadabbaru tadabburan. and فعل الأمر will be تدبر, and فعل النهي will be لا تتدبر. Okay, now what tip do we need to remember about this bab? Okay, these three they come on one pattern. These three, they come on one pattern. Okay, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I had to mute my mic for a minute. So we have تدبر, يتدبر, تدبرا, تدبر, لا تتدبر. Okay, so what I was talking about, the form number 2, 3, and 4, what is common in these forms? The mudari,
yeah, with dhamma.
yeah, mudari,
Mudari,
excellent. So mudari comes ya with dhamma, okay? So these three are completely different from the rest of the forms of the verb. Now, for example, we have learned from the ثلاثي مجرد, the verbs that have 3 root letters. For example, we have learned nasara, yansuru. So when we say yansuru, ya has fatha, right? Yansuru. Similarly, we have learned daraba, yadribu, ya has fatha, right? Then we have learned sami'a, yasma'u, fataha, yaftahu. So all of them have dhamma when we talk about the mudari, fatha, sorry. But
Fatha.
when we, yeah, fatha, yes, thank you. And then when we have these three forms, the mazid fi, so number 2, 3, and 4, then the mudari starts with you. Sabbaha, yusabbihu, jahada, yujahidu, aslama, yuslimu. And that's it. These three have these, like they start with dhamma, and then we move on to the rest of the forms of the verb. The mudari comes back to fatha as it was with the mazid, with the thulathi mujarrad, or with the triliteral verbs. So now tadabbara, yatadabbaru. So ya has what do we have here? Fatha, as we have fatha in the regular cases. So tadabbara, yatadabbaru, tadabburan, and then we have tadabbar, la tatadabbar. That is number 1. So fatha has come back. So regular thing, number 1. Number 2, in these forms of the verb, or especially this one, 4 and 5, so we are in 4 now, they do not have kasra in any of the forms. Like there will be no kasra in the, when we talk about the ma'lum, we are talking about the regular forms of the verb. We are not talking about passive. We are talking about the active forms of the verb. So whether we have the past or the present or the masdar, فعل الأمر, فعل النهي, none of them will carry kasra. So all of them carry fatha or dhamma. So this is the thing that we have to keep in mind, or this is the key, or this is an extra thing, or a tip you can say, that you can relate it always, that this form of the verb will always have fatha or dhamma. It will never have kasra when we talk about the regular forms of the verb. Tadabbara, yatadabbaru, tadabburan. Now, if we look at the example of this verb from the Quran, we have in Surah Muhammad, we have verse number, I guess, 24. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَى قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. So this is a very powerful verse of the Quran. Of course, all of them are very powerful, but this one is very thought-provoking as well, where there is an invitation for all of us that we have to ponder on the Quran. And if we don't do that, that means we have locks on our hearts. This is Surah Muhammad, verse number 24. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَى قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. Then they do not reflect upon the Quran, or are there locks upon their hearts? So it's a very powerful ayah where not reflecting upon the Quran, yani not trying to learn it, not trying to understand it, means that we have locks on our hearts. And if someone's heart has been locked, that means it has been locked from every kind of khair. So there is no khair that will enter into our heart. And if someone is deprived of khair, if someone is deprived of good, he is deprived of everything. So that's one of the reasons why we are trying to learn Arabic and the Quran, so that we can at least reflect on what we are learning and what is the purpose of the revelation of the Quran. And the purpose is to reflect upon it, as there is in the verse, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَى قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. So this verb, I have chosen this verb, which is tadabbur, yatadabbur, and then we have tadabbara, yatadabbaru, tadabburan, tadabbur, and la tatadabbur. Again, when we say la tatadabbur, this is only for the purpose of learning our grammar rules. It's not any kind of order, or it's not any kind of nahi. Okay, now let's see how to make imperative from this form. Making imperative is easier. Do you remember how we make fi'l al-amr?
Yes, Ustad, the last letter becomes sakin.
So we have to make it sakin, okay. And we have to put that, okay. And we have to drop alamat al-mudari, which is ta. So when we drop ta, it becomes tadabbar. Yes, tadabbar. So this is our fi'l al-amr. As we can see here, there is no need to add hamzat al-wasl because it is readable. There is no need to add anything. There is no need to. So this is the rule that we follow, that the ending we have to make it sakin, and then we have to remove alamat al-mudari. If it is readable, then that means that our fi'l al-amr is ready. And how do we make fi'l al-nahi? Fi'l al-nahi is also easier. The first step is what we have to do. The ending has to be sakin.
Sakin.
And then we have to
insert
la al-nahiya, yeah? Nahiya, which is used to stop someone, to prohibit someone from doing something. So la tatadabbur. Sometimes because it's ta comes twice, so sometimes ta gets dropped in the Quran as well, because it's like sometimes it's difficult to pronounce, it becomes like that. So sometimes it gets dropped. So inshallah, when we go to those verbs in the Quran, then we will learn that it has been dropped. One more question that I would like to ask. What are the signs of mudari? There are 4 signs of mudari. Yeah. What are those?
Ya, ta, alif, noon.
Ya, ta, alif, noon. Okay, now this fi'l al-madi, the past tense starts with ta. Right? Tadabbara.
Yes.
So how will we differentiate, or how will we come to know if it is past or present?
We will ask you, sir.
Okay, so as we see here, the rule of the past is, the ending of the past is always mabni al-fath. The ending of the past will always be mabni al-fath. As we can see here, ending has fatha over here. Tadabbara, aslama, jahada, sabbaha, nasara, daraba, fataha, samia. All of them, the ending has over there, it has fatha. So this is number 1. Number 2, if it is present tense, then there will not be 1 ta, there will be 2 tas. For example, ya, we know that we have the sign of ya, yatadabbaru, and if it is she reflects, it will be tatadabbaru. And if it is I reflect, atadabbaru, and we reflect, natadabbaru. So 2 things that we can figure out. Number 1, we know that the past is always mabni al-fath. The ending will always come with fatha. That's number 1. And number 2, the addition of the sign of mudari will make it, as we can see here. So if it is tatadabbur, you reflect, so there will be 2 tas. And if it is yatadabbur, there will be the addition of ya. And then if it is I ponder, it will be atadabbur, and we ponder, it will be natadabbur. So there will be addition of the signs of the mudari. So I hope it's clear now. So now, mashallah, it's becoming advanced. So now you know that not every verb that has ta is present, it can be past as well. And now you know that when it can be past and when it can be present.
Mudare will always with the ending with dhamma.
Dhamma, excellent. One more thing. Thank you very much, Irfan. And the ending of mudare will be with dhamma. Either with dhamma or then there will be addition of una and there will be addition of ina, as we already know. Okay. And we know that the ending of mudare can change according to the amil if there is something before it. For example, we have learned that if we use an, then the dhamma changes into fatha. Let's go back to the lesson now. And let's try to complete it. I think we have covered most of the exercises. A big chunk of it is already covered. And now we have here, Irfan, we have the verb ta'ammal. Ta'ammal. So this is fi'l al-amr. As you can see, the ending is sakin. So this is the fifth form that we have learned today. It is ta'ammala, yata'ammalu, ta'ammulan. So when we make fi'l al-amr, it becomes ta'ammal. Ta'ammal ma yali, reflect what follows, or reflect on the following. And one of the characteristics of this group, I must tell you that this group means when you put an extra effort to do something. So when you put some extra effort to do something, then we use this bab, which is bab number 5. I did not tell you the characteristics of number 2, 3, and 4, but I'm telling you about the fifth one because this is what concerns us the most. So anything where we need to put some extra effort, that will be bab number 5. That will be group number 5. Ta'ammala yata'ammalu. Here we have to put some effort. Similarly, ta'allama yata'allamu, to learn. What are we doing now? Learning, right? So learning also ta'allama yata'allamu ta'alluman, and we know that learning also needs parts of effort. So this is where you can write it down, and this is the main characteristic of this bab or this group, that it requires extra effort for the doer, not for the one that is being done, for the doer himself or the doer itself. Ta'ammal ma yali, reflect on the following. So as we can see here, we have learned the past of fi'l ra'a, that is he saw, ra'a, he saw, and now we will learn the present form, which is he sees. And so when we say he sees, we say huwa yara, and when we say you see, anta tara. Okay, so here she is missing. So if we say here she sees, it will be also tara. Yeah. So huwa yara, hiya tara, anta tara. Yes, ana ara, and nahnu nara. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, the ending, you can see here, the ending is alif maqsura. We will say alif maqsura. So if you want to use an before it, or if you want to use li before it, nothing will change. For example, huwa yuridu an yara, he wants to see, an yara or an yara. So we will not say yara ya, no, because this is not ya, this is alif maqsura. On alif maqsura, we cannot put fatha. It does not accept fatha, because this is why we call it broken alif, or alif, shorter alif. So this is alif maqsura. So if you want to say he wants to see, huwa yuridu an yara. You want to see, anta turidu an tara. I want to see, ana uridu an ara. And we want to see, nahnu nuridu an nara. So the ending will not change. We will not put fatha on alif maqsura, because alif maqsura does not accept fatha. Yesterday we have learned li yashtariya, li ashtariya. Over there on ya, we have put fatha. Why we have put fatha over there? Because that is ya. Do you remember, if we go back, we have learned that we have to put fatha on ya. Here, for example, ya hamzatu adhabu al-ana ila suqi li ashtariya. So this is ya, that's why we have fatha on it. And why do we have fatha on it? Because we know that li, lamu ta'lil, when we put lamu ta'lil, then the ending changes from dhamma to fatha. But here, the ending doesn't have dhamma. You see, yara, tara, ara, nara, the ending doesn't have dhamma. So that means we don't have to change it into fatha. We will only change it to fatha when we have ad-dhamma al-zahira. Ad-dhamma al-zahira means when we can see it. When we can see the dhamma, then we will say that we have to change it into fatha. But if there is no dhamma al-zahira, here it is just like it is over there, mahallan over there, but we don't see it. That's why there is no need to add fatha on it. This point is very, very important. Please write it down. And this one is like slightly confusing because what we might do, we can put fatha on that and we can say an yaraya and antaraya and an araya and an naraya. That doesn't come because this is not ya, this is alif maqsura. Did you get it?
Yes, Ustad.
Okay. يضع المدرس أشياء على مكتبه. The teacher puts things on his desk. أو يرسم, or he draws. So now you can see here that يضع is وضع يضع. We have learned this mithal. So وضع يضع, that means to put, and ضع is فعل الأمر. So فعل الأمر, we don't know how to make it, but at least we know that this is فعل الأمر. We didn't make it before. وضع يضع. And يرسم, رسم يرسم, to draw. رسم يرسم, to draw. So which bab is this? يرسم. نصر ينصر.
نصر ينصر.
Okay, yes. So أو يرسم, or he draws, على السبورة, on the board, أشياء, things, ويسأل, and he asks, كلا, each من الطلاب, of the students. So he asks each of the students, ماذا ترى على المكتب? What do you see on the desk? And what do you see على السبورة? What do you see on the board? So ويجيب, يجيب, this is أجاب يجيب. يجيب means to answer, okay? ويجيب الطالب, and the teacher answers. ويقول, and he says, أرى قلما وكتابا وساعة. I see a pen, a book, and a watch.
That's why you يجيب الطالب, teacher answers.
The student answers. The student answers. ويجيب الطالب, the student answers. ويقول, and he says. Okay, so Irfan, I have my phone on the desk. So ماذا ترى على المكتب, or على الطاولة? Yes, what will be your answer? أرى جوالا.
أرى جوالا على
الطاولة. Okay, I have cup, which is kub. Okay, so ماذا ترين يا أختي على الطاولة? What do you see on the board or on the desk?
أرى كوبا على الطاولة.
Excellent. All right. So this is how we can practice. So now you know that if you want to see something, and then we will say هو يرى أنا أنت ترى أنا أرى and نحن نرى. تأمل ما يلي. Again, you have to reflect on the following. We have discussed about this many times that أرجو means I request. أرجو أن تسمح لي. أرجو أن تسمح لي. I request you to allow me بالجلوس هنا, to sit here. So you see, ba, this harf jar ba is very famous, very common. It's used a lot in Arabic language. So I request you to allow me to sit here. Okay, biljulusi. If we want to use the verb, then how will I use it? Jalasa. An ajlisa huna. An ajlisa huna. And so either we can use the masdar, which is julus, or we can use the that's called masdar muawwal, or we can use masdar muawwal that is changed into the masdar, which is basically not masdar. So this is called al-masdar as-sarih. Al-masdar as-sarih, that means the real masdar. And when we say an, that is called masdar al-muawwal. Al-muawwal, that has been changed into masdar. Arju an tasmah li bil julusi huna. I request you to allow me to sit here. And then we have أرجو أن تسمح له بالخروج. Now it is you are requesting, I am requesting you to allow him to leave. So أرجو أن تسمح له بالخروج, or we will say أرجو أن تسمح له أن يخرج, right? أن يخرج. So that will be called المصدر المؤول. This is المصدر الصريح. Okay, أرجو أن تسمح لنا بالدخول. I request you to allow us to get in. And أرجو أن تسمح لنا أن ندخل, right? Yes, ندخل أن ندخل. And then أرجو أن تسمح لحامد بزيارتك. أرجو, I request, أن تسمح, that you allow, لحامد, حامد, بزيارتك, to visit you. So to visit you, بزيارتك, right? So I request you to allow Hamid to visit you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so أرجو أن تسمح لحامد بزيارتك.
سمح. This samaha, this is in which group, sir?
فتح.
فتح.
فتح يفتح. Isn't it? Okay. Then we have in number 14, we have هذه أسماء فصول السنة. These are the names of the seasons of the year. So أسماء فصول السنة, as we can see here, أسماء is مضاف, فصولي is مضاف مضاف إليه, and السنة is مضاف إليه. These are the names of the. So faslun is used for the classroom, and it is also used for the season. These are the names of the seasons of the year. So الشتاء, winter, الربيع, spring, الصيف, summer, الخريف, autumn. So these are the names of the seasons of the year. Which two seasons are mentioned in the Quran?
رحلة الشتاء والصيف.
رحلة الشتاء والصيف. Yeah. So it's Surah Quraysh, right? So رحلة الشتاء والصيف. So now you see that they had journeys in the winter, or the journey in the winter and the journey in the summer as well. Al-Rabi and Al-Kharif. We don't see Al-Rabi in Saudi Arabia, and we don't see Al-Kharif here as well. We have either Saif.
Only in the supermarkets.
Yeah. So normally we have Saif and Saif and Saif. Ashita comes and goes. So it's like for a couple of months. All right. So
is like weekend, sir.
It's like the weekend here. Okay. So al-kalimatu al-jadidatu, hadhihi al-kalimatu al-jadidatu. These are the new words. Utlatun, vacation. Right? Okay. Al-amul muqbili, muqbili, the coming year. We have also learned al-amul qadimu. So qadim is also for someone coming, and that is the mazid, that is the thalathi mujarrad, triliteral, and this is the mazid fi aqbala yuqbilu iqbalan, muqbil and muqbal. Al-dhubabu, the fly, and dhibbanun. Look at the plural. The plural is amazing. Like there are so many varieties of plural, and we just need to learn them. The broken plural, it doesn't follow any specific pattern. So flies. Dhibbanun, flies. That's the plural. Misru, this is the city, the country, Egypt. But do we have in Surah Yusuf, Ihbitu Misran, we have over there?
Inshallah.
Yeah. Yeah, but that one we have Misran and we have Misru. So Misran, when we have with like Tanween, that means any city. Whereas when we say Misru, which is Mamnu min as-sarf, that means Egypt. Yeah, so that's the difference between the one that is used in the Quran. Both of them are used in the Quran. So Misru is this one is Mamnu min as-sarf, that means the city, and that means any place. Misran means any place. Hudu'un, quietly or calmly. Okay. I'lanun, announcement.
Announcement.
Okay. Ahlun, the people. Yeah.
عمل
ظرف, and the plural is ظروف. ظرف, we know that it is used for adverb, right? It is also used for envelope that we use for the letters or covering something, so the envelope. And also it's used for the situation like ظروف الاستثنائية, like the situation that is going on, which is exceptional circumstances. So it is also used for the circumstances as well. ظروف, circumstances. الضوضاء,
Noise.
noise. عشاء,
Dinner.
dinner or supper, it depends. Yeah. So if we have with kasra, it will be isha, prayer.
Prayer.
So with fatha, it becomes after prayer. It's maybe related to, because normally we eat during that time. So that might be the reason that why it is called asha, because normally we eat it before isha or after isha. So that could be the possibility. Ilajun, treatment.
Treatment.
Samaha, so this is fataha yaftahu, samaha yasmahu, samahan, to allow someone, and zara yazuru ziyaratan, to visit. So what kind of verb is this, sahih or ghair sahih?
Where sahi, sir?
Right.
Alif is there.
Is it ajwaf or
Ajwaf.
naqis?
Ajwaf, sir.
Ajwaf.
Ajwaf, yes. Ajwaf wawi or ajwaf ya'i?
Wawi.
واوي
Wawi, excellent. Yes, so
Wawi.
we're getting a little bit deeper. So it's called ajwaf wawi because either it will have waw or it will have ya. Either of these two, for example, ba'a yabi'u, that has ya. So that is called ajwaf ya'i, and this one is called ajwaf wawi. Bada'a yabda'u, bad'an, to start. Amkana yumkinu, yalla, give me the masdar.
Imkan.
Imkanan.
Imkan.
Yes, amkana yumkinu imkanan, to be possible. Baqiya yabqa baqa'an, to stay. And basaqa yabsuqu basqatan, to spit. So basqa wahida, one spit. All right, so we have alhamdulillah completed lesson number 17.
16.
16 or 17?
17.
Yeah, fun.
17, sir.
17.
It is written there, sir, 17.
Yeah, okay. الدرس السابع عشر, number 17. So inshallah we can move on to the next lesson, right?
Yes, Ustad.
Okay, so first, as we normally do, we will just go through the handouts. And inshallah, I think today we will just go through the handouts, and if we have time, we might start the lesson, or we will start tomorrow, inshallah. So we have the handouts here for lesson number 18. Okay, so it's not, there is nothing much in it. It's basically what we have learned in 17. Most of the part belongs to that one. So we have already learned lamu ta'lil, and what is lamu ta'lil and how do we use it? Yes, this is a question.
Lam al-Ta'lil, it has a
Lam.
reason, sir.
To explain the reason, sir.
To give the reason, okay, for example. أدرس العربية
أدرس اللغة العربية لأفهم
لفهم
القرآن.
القرآن.
لأفهم القرآن, right?
ليفهم القرآن.
لأفهم القرآن, okay. So, sorry, I'm just like munching on something. So we have يذهب. So when we use an, it becomes an or an يذهب. And then we have تذهب, it becomes an تذهب. And أذهب becomes an أذهب, and أذهب becomes an أذهب. What they have done, or the Sheikh has done, they have removed تذهب because it comes twice. But we will not remove it because we know تذهب means she goes and تذهب means you go. So why we do not want to remove it? So that we practice both. All right, so what happens when we use an with تذهبين and تذهبون and يذهبون? Again, the dual has been dropped. The dual has not been discussed in these lessons, which is يذهبان تذهبان تذهبان. So that has not been discussed. So we will go as we have here in the lessons. So what happens with تذهبين when we use an then the noon gets dropped. Like you remember when we made fi'l al-amr, noon got dropped.
Yes,
So
Ustad.
this noon, whether we use huruf al-jazima or huruf al-nasiba, like nasiba, those give nasb. For example, an and li, they give nasb, okay? So the ending becomes mansub, an and li. But when we have learned la and nahiya, that means it is al-harf al-jazim, and it gives jazm to the ending of the verb. The ending gets chopped. We chop it, right? So what happens here when we use, whether we use la and nahiya or we use an, the ending gets dropped. So the noon gets dropped. So it becomes from tadhabina, it becomes tadhabi. We know that when noon gets dropped, ya remains there. So it becomes tadhabi and tadhabi. And then we have tadhabuna and yadhabuna. Again, when we use an with that, so what happens? The noon gets dropped. So it becomes an tadhabu and an yadhabu or an yadhabu. So she wants to, or you want to go. Anti turidina an tadhabi, right? Anti turidina an tadhabi. You want to go. Okay, you all want to go. Antum turiduna an tadhabu. So what happened here? It was tadhabuna. So because of an, the noon was dropped. And similarly, they want to go. So hum yuriduna an yadhabu. It was yadhabuna. So because of an, we know that when noon is dropped, then alif is put over there, or we put alif over there. So to know that noon was dropped and alif has been added, or something has been added over there. This alif, we do not read it. This is just extra alif. So an tadhabu and an yadhabu. So what happened here? Here, dhamma changed into fatha. So all the verbs that have dhamma, they change into fatha. And the verbs that have noon, the noon gets dropped. However, we know that there is always an exception. For the feminine plural, whether it is for the second person or the third person, what do you remember about the feminine plural? The ending is mabni. You remember when we made fi'l al-amr? So it was ukhruj, ukhruju, ukhruji, and ukhrujna. You remember? Or we have learned tansur. It was when we make fi'l al-amr or when we make fi'l al-nahi, the ending of the feminine plural remains as it is because it is mabni and it doesn't change. So the ending of the feminine plural in the mudari will never ever change. It will remain as it is. So I think that we have maybe down or look at the examples here. For example, ماذا تريدين أن تشربي يا آمنة? What do you want to drink, O Amina? So it was basically tashrabina, but because of an, yeah, a noon has got dropped. Similarly, aina turiduna an tadhhabu ya ikhwanu? Where do you want to go, brothers? So it was tadhhabuna, but because of an, noon has got dropped. And similarly, we have yuriduna an yakhruju min al-fasli. They want to go out of the class. So yakhrujuna, the noon gets dropped, and it becomes yakhruju. And this is what I was talking about. The two forms, yadhabna and tadhabna, remain unchanged after an. So, aturidna an tasma'na al-akhbara ya akhawatu? Do you want to listen to the news, sisters? So, what happened here? Nothing happened. So, we will say like muhallan, it is mansub, but no change takes place. An tasma'na. And similarly, تريد طالبات أن يجلسن في الحديقة. The female students want to sit in the garden. Again, يجلسن, the noon did not change. So the summary is the verbs that have dhamma changes into fatha, and the verbs that have una and ina sound, over there the noon gets dropped, and the verbs that are for the feminine plural, no change takes place. I'm quiet to hear, like, is this okay? Does it make sense? Is it clear?
Yes, Ustad. Alhamdulillah, it's clear, Ustad.
So what did I say?
Yeah, the una and ina, the noon gets deleted. For the
Yes.
two forms of feminine remains the same if it has before an and
Or
lam
li.
tahleel.
Lam tahleel. And the forms that have dhamma, they change into fatha. So I'm giving you like, this is our universal rule when we say una, so the noon gets dropped.
Okay, Ustad.
All right, and
Okay.
that also happens in the nouns as well. Inshallah, when we go back to the nouns, we are very much into the verbs, but there, in the time will come in book number 3 when we will go back to the nouns again. So over there, we will see that for the noun also, the noon gets dropped.
Okay.
All right. For example, Muslimani, Muslimuna. So ani and una. Over there, even the noon gets dropped. And when we learn, inshallah, in mudaf ilayh construction, we will see over there. Sa'ati ka sa'atika. My watch is like yours. Okay. So the word ka is a preposition, and the noun following it is majroor. We know that the prepositions make the ending of the noun majroor, right? Yes. Okay.
Yes, Ustad.
So ka means like. Okay. So
Okay,
the like inshallah when you learn balagha as well. So in balagha they say that the rhetoric, they say that ka is used as harf tashbih when you are showing likeness of something to something. So basically it is used to show the likeness. Okay, so that's what we call it. Ka means like. هذا البيت كالمسجد. So this house is like
It's like
a
a
mosque. Okay, and هذه القهوة كالماء. This coffee is like
It's
water.
like water.
Yes. So okay.
Who made this kahwa, sir?
Well, I don't know, but all right. So maybe Irfan, you made it. Okay, so we see here in Surah Al-Fil, the last verse is فَجَعَلَهُمْ كَعَصْفٍ مَأْكُولٍ. Yeah. So he made them like eaten straw, like ka. So as we can see here, the noun that follows it is majroor, كَعَصْفٍ مَأْكُولٍ.
This is same like kama.
La, kama is different. Like ma, because you see, ma has been added. So that's the combination of ka and ma. That's why we say kama. So here, this one, ka alone, when it comes with a noun, then that noun becomes majroor, and we say this is harful jar, and it is used to show the likeness, as we can see here. And the coffee is like water. And in Arabic, we say tashbih, to show likeness of something with something. For example, we say irfanu ka asadin. Irfan is like a lion. So when we show when we use tashbih, then we use ka harfu tashbih, and this is also called preposition as well. This preposition is not used with pronouns, so we cannot say ana kahu, I'm like him. It's not possible to say. So in such case, the word mithlun is added between the preposition and the pronoun. So ana kamithlihi, I am like him. Huwa kamithli, he is like me. Laysa kamithlihi shay'un. Yes, excellent. Yeah, so there's nothing like him. So again, I would always like, inshallah, you, because mashallah, some of you are hufad al-Quran, to always relate it and try to find the example from the Quran. And if we can find that, that makes it very relevant and makes it easier for us. So when we want to say like me.
So, but with Anna, it is possible like
Anna, basically, when you want to use, we cannot use it with the verb. So if you want to use it with the verb,
with like you said, with ka, a pronoun cannot be attached directly.
Yeah, the
so,
attached
but
pronoun.
Like كأنهن الياقوت والمرجان or كأنهم.
Anna is harf al-tawqid. Yeah, so with harf al-tawqid we can use it.
Okay.
Okay, but with the attached pronouns, for example, if you want to say you are directly like him, yeah, so we cannot say anti kaha, you are like her. So we will say anti
Okay.
kamithliha, you are like her. So
Okay.
we will not
Read.
use that, we will not use the attached pronoun directly to ka.
Okay.
All right, because it's like it's used to show likeness, so that could be the reason why it's not used directly with the, whereas with the others like fi and ila, we can use like directly the attached pronouns. But this this form or this preposition is exceptional, where we do not or we cannot use the attached pronouns directly with them. So if you want to use likeness or if you want to show likeness, then we have to bring in the noun, which is mithlun. So kamithlihi and kamithli, he is like me, or I'm like him. Now there is introduction of one more idea, which is called tawqid. We have learned about this a lot to show the emphasis. So there is another way of showing emphasis. For example, here, arju Allah or an la ta'khudna hadhihi al-ashya'a. And now, what is the ending of ashiya? It is fatha, yeah.
Fatha.
So fatha. So if you want to use or you want to show tawqid or emphasis, then we use the verb we use the noun kullun, and then that will have the ending, or the ending of kullun will be according to the noun that comes before it. So arju Allah or an la ta'khudna hadhihi al-ashya'a kullaha. So I request you not to take all of these things here. So in Arabic it is called tawqid, and kullun is basically harf al-tawqid, which is used to show emphasis. The word kullun is connected to the mu'akkad. So tawqid, which bab is this? Yalla.
أكد يؤكد.
أكد يؤكد توكيدا. Okay, so which one? فعل يفعل تفعيلا. سبح يسبح تسبيحا. So now, mashallah, now even looking at the, you can say, looking at the masdar, you can go back to the past and the present as well. For example, we say mu'akkad. So we have akkada yu'akkidu ta'kidan, and akkid la tu'akkid. And then when we say, I gave you the formula that when we want to say the doer, it will be mu'akkid, right? The one who confirms, and the one that is confirmed is, or that is emphasized, is called mu'akkad. Okay, so the one that has been emphasized, that is called mu'akkad, and the i'rab will be the same as the i'rab of what it follows. For example, here hadarat tullabu kulluhum. So when you say hadarat tullabu, the students attended, fine. But if you want to emphasize that all of them attended, then we will say hadarat tullabu kulluhum, all the students attended. Kharajat at-talibatu kulluhunna, all the female students went out, as we can see here. Kharajat talibatu kulluhunna. So what is the i'rab of tullabu? It has dhamma. That's why the i'rab of the ending of kullu also has dhamma. Here talibat has dhamma, so that's why it is kulluhunna. However, if we have the noun that comes before it, if it has fatha, then the i'rab of kullu will also take fatha, as we can see here. Qara'tul kitaba kullahu. I read the whole book, or I read the book completely. So when you say qara'tul kitaba, then the harf al-tawqid will have the same ending, which is the ending of the mu'akkad. So book is mu'akkad, and this is harf al-tawqid. qara'tul kitaba kullahu, I read the whole book. Bahathtu anhu fil madrasati kulliha, I looked for him in the whole school. So bahathtu anhu, I looked for him fil madrasati. As we can see here, madrasa has kasra. That's why the word kullu also has kasra. So it will become kulliha. And this is for emphasis that I looked for him in the whole school. Literally, I looked for him everywhere. So now note that the word kullun is in the same case as the mu'akkad. So the noun that comes before it is called mu'akkad, and this is called harf al-ta'kid, and this whole construction is called at-ta'kid. Akkada yu'akkidu ta'kidan. It is also used to confirm something. And هل أنت متأكد? Are you sure? No, that is تأكد. This is أكد, to confirm something. So أكد يؤكد تأكيدا, or to emphasize, as well. And we have learned that the vocative particle حرف النداء is ya, and we have, like, mashallah, discussed about it many times. For example, ya Bilalu, ya Rajulu. When ya is used with the noun having al, the word ayyuha is inserted between ya and the noun. For example, ya ayyuhan nasu. So if the noun has al, then we have to add ayyu, and then it will be ayyuha, ya ayyuhan nasu, and not ya an nasu. If you drop al, then it's fine. You can say ya nasu, ya rajulu, ya bilalu, ya imratu, right? So, but when we have al with that, then we have to add ayyuha, as we can see here. O man, ya ayyuha rajulu. So when we say ya rajulu, we used ya because that man was unknown, and that's why we said ya rajulu. But if we say ar rajulu, then we have to say ya ayyuha rajulu. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah.
Ya ayyuha 𝗕طالبات وطلاب, right? Then we have hayya bina, come along, yani let's go. So it is called ismul fail. Okay, let me hide it. Which ismul fail we have already learned? You don't remember?
No, sir.
No,
Ismul
sir.
fail. Ismul fail. Ameen. We have learned about it.
Ameen.
Yeah. Yes.
Ameen.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So it's an ism, but it works like fail. Okay. So that's why it is called ismul fail. So we have here like and we have the ending is I feel pain, and I think it's universal. Like whenever someone has pain, he uses this expression. Then we have uffin. So it means it's like I'm bored, and it's used in the Quran as well.
Then for
Yes.
for the parents, don't
لا
say
تنهرهما لا
أف ولا
تنهرهما
تنهرهما
Oh,
وقل
yes.
لهما قولا كريما.
كريم. Okay.
سورة إسراء.
Excellent. Thank you, Irfan. Thanks a lot. So we have Amin. It is basically Amina. It has Fatha, but when we pause, we say Amin, and it is Allahumma istajib. That means, oh Allah, accept my
accept
prayer.
my prayer.
This construction is the last one. We have talked about this as well. So 𝗟𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀 هذه. So why هذه has come in the end? It's very simple. This tin of sweets. So when you are pointing towards something and you want to say this tin of sweets, if you say هذه 𝗟𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀, then it becomes a complete
This is
sentence. It becomes a complete sentence. This is a tin of sweets. But you want to point towards it and you want to say this tin of sweets, then what we have to do, Ismul Ishara has to come after Mudaf Mudaf alayh. 𝗟𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀, we know this is Mudaf Mudaf alayh. So if we put Ismul Ishara before it, then هذه, then it becomes a complete sentence. But when we bring it in the end of the construction of Mudaf Mudaf alayh, then it is used to point towards something. For example, here we have seen in the book, هذا الكتاب means this book. But if we want to say this book of history, then we have to say كتاب التاريخ هذا. كتاب التاريخ هذا. What if I say هذا كتاب التاريخ? It would mean this is the book of history, right? This is the history book. Thank you very much. Yeah. But when you say كتاب التاريخ هذا, then it means this book of history.
History.
Okay. Right. So similarly, if you want to say this pencil, you will say قلم الرصاص هذا, and this was used for the lead pencil. So قلم الرصاص هذا. And please remember that this construction is used with mudaf mudaf alayh, not without mudaf mudaf alayh. So when we have the mudaf and mudaf alayh, so if we bring it before mudaf mudaf alayh, it becomes a complete sentence. But when we bring it in the end, then it is used to point towards something. غرفة النوم هذه. This bedroom, of course, because ghurfa is feminine, so that's why we have to use this ishara of feminine. And ساعتك هذه جميلة. This watch of yours is beautiful. So again, as you can see here, ساعتك هذه جميلة, and خذ كتابي هذا, take this book of mine. خذ كتابي هذا.
Okay.
Take this book of mine. All right.
ये रात को थोड़ा-थोड़ा काट.
Finished. Okay, so we have the vocab. عادة, habit. متحف, museum. علبة is used for the packet or tin. ملابس, clothes. سيد is used for the gentleman. عطلة الصيف, summer holidays. عنوان, address, and حديقة الحيوانات, zoo. All right, alhamdulillah. So inshallah tomorrow when we come back, we have class tomorrow, right? So inshallah we will start with lesson number 18, inshallah, and hopefully I believe that we will be able to complete it as well. I request you to go through the handouts again, and inshallah when we come back, and you should be ready to do it by yourselves. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام. السلام عليكم أستاذ. جزاك الله.
وإياكم.